Hello again, just going over some changes that I've made to the gear recently that I'm happy with. So just wanted to share those with everybody. Playing a Jason Lee custom, got two true velvet, kind of a slightly offset Strat Telly Nashville kind of deal. Two DiMarzio blue velvets and a pre-B1 in the bridge. Probably my main guitar for 80% of this stuff. I'll link Jason in the description so you can see more of that. Playing into a Vox AC15, greenback, some NOS tubes, Sylvanias, and tongue soles. Egnator tweaker, 15, also NOS, 40-watt cab, RCAs, and I forget what 6v6s I've got in there, but anyway, this is my clean tone. Okay, so coming in with just wireless back down here, which I've got in my back pocket. That comes in, goes through a whole bunch of stuff. I've got a SP comp always on, just evens out my pick attack. Underneath there, I've got a double Y box, so I'm actually going through a second compressor here, which is just a 1980 Dynacomp that's been rehoused with true bypass for when you want that spank and really high attack. But that's the one that's normally on the SP comp. Buddha wah just sounds like a wah. I won't show that to you right now because the pot's a little scratchy. But I mean, maybe we'll get it to work. It just sounds like a wah. You can hear it's a little scratchy right now. Phase shifter. I got a Timmy for my first stage that's on really low, just to give me a little bit of more touch feel. A little bit of warmth. Also great for bringing out slide parts and little picking things that need to cut through. Then we're going into a pre-MOSFET full drive. Which of course has the boost on it. And stacks really well with the Timmy. Just for a little bit more of a saturated tone. Coming into a rat. It sounds like a rat. And an M drive, which I basically use. Also really low settings as a boost. Bring my cleans up. Just makes everything sound like it's going through a hotter amp. So no matter what stage we're on, you know. Give us a little bit more on top for solos and such. Then we've got a Pog, micro Pog. Right now it's just set for a little bit of up. And set that for any different number of things. Slow volume 2 gives me violin textures, cello type stuff. The envelope filter that just brings the volume up optically so I can get swells on every note faster than my foot could do them over here. And then everything comes out to, this is just a split, buffered split for my center dry, which is going into that tone block, which you see over there, which is not plugged in right now. Or sometimes I'll go wet dry, in which case we'll use the tone block. It's also great for backup if one of my amps goes down. I had a recent gig where I blew a fuse right at the beginning of a retreat, so that was handy to have around. Yeah, so that just splits off of there. Then we're going into volume and tuner. And then we come into this one's mine, ACEC. This is a custom one I had Dan build for me that's running in stereo. So it takes both of my sides. So that's where we go in for the electric side. The acoustic also comes in here. So I'm using the same board. Comes right in on that little cable there. I've got a patch bay underneath. It goes through just the compressors. That's that dual Y box that's underneath the board. So it's bypassing all of this stuff. It's not going through the loop master at all. It's just straight into the compressors, both of them, and then back to the volume tuner. And then with both of those, we come out to a noise gate back there, and then into delays and reverbs. So we've just got carbon copy on there, which I just use for texture stuff. Mostly on swells or stuff, or just to add a little bit of something behind the acoustic occasionally. Strymon Timeline is my main delay. We'll just use a really basic setting for today. I've got the external, so I can bank through with this, and I can tap here. Then reverb, I've got the wet. It's on shimmer, and it's really, really wet, so you've got just a lot of... You can hear those really high shimmer reflections there. And then the RV5 is on modulate, which it does so well, so much better than any of the other ones. You can hear that that's also very long. But I really love when I can stack them together, because this on its own can be a little harsh. But when you stack them, going into the RV5, it takes a little bit of that harshness off. It's almost like a pre-delay to some of those real high shimmer reflections, and it sounds really good together. So when you get it all going for swells and the like, bring the Timmy in. Sounds phenomenal. And then after that, I've got just the RC3, which I've got going through another. This one's mine pedal. This is a blender also that I had custom built in stereo. So I can blend in whatever pads or samples I'm running on the loop station. I've got all 12 keys in there, so today we're playing all in D. So I can just pull up a pad in D that can play under whatever else we're doing. blend it in. If it's a little bit too loud, I can blend it back. I have all 12 keys in there and also a few samples queued up that I'll use for different songs. Well, that's good if it takes a little bit of pressure off the keyboard player. And then everything there comes back out, back into the AC, EC, and we're just going out to either the DI box, which for acoustic is an ultrasound DI plus, or the this is a radial stage bug SB6 that you see down here. That's just allowing me to, if there's ever, depending on the room I'm in, I don't need it strictly in this room, but if there's ever a ground loop, I have ground lifts on both sides. I've got a polarity switch, and it's transformer isolating both sides so that neither side is seeing the other side as a pathway to ground. That comes in really, really handy if you're running stereo, which I normally wouldn't in a room this small. I wouldn't even have it mic'd up. This is just for the recording's sake. But definitely in a larger room, using a larger spread, mics, more stage volume, this is really, really helpful for getting any noise out of my signal live. And then I'll just show you the acoustic pathway real quick. This is a Martin D15M. So once again, that's just going through the compressor there, which is nice because I can adjust the volume for different guitars or whatever I need, and some of them have different outputs, so that's nice to just have that at the touch of a knob. And then bypassing everything else and going straight into delayed and reverb. So I could add this if it's, a little bit percussive and I want a little something on there. Carbon copy sounds a little bit nicer than sometimes some of my timeline settings can get a little bit metallic, and then I can add reverb on there if I want. But the main reason that I got the AC-EC is because I was sick of having to plug and unplug depending when I would switch from electric to acoustic, so that allows me to keep everything plugged in at the same time, and I can just grab and go, and it's always ready to go for whatever I'm doing. So that is the latest. I am also getting the volume replaced with an EP Junior and Ernie Ball VP Junior with a polytune built in to the face, so there will be a polytune right here built in, which means I can kick that tuner off, save a little bit of space, and maybe bring that noise gate back up onto the face so that this space back here can just be for wires and mics when the lid is on. And oh yeah, reverb amp, non-reverb amp, tremolo, that's right here. So I've got the depth up really high so that when the one side has trem and the other doesn't, it still sounds like a trem. That's on there. Then I can just take the little wireless and plug into whatever guitar I'm using. Got a Tennessee Rose and E, got a Strat a half step down and a Les Paul whole step down. All red, it's kind of my thing. And then over there I have a DSR that's in a different system. It's just going through a Fishman Aura and a Fishman Loudbox. But that is what I'm doing right now. I tried to keep that short and sweet for you. Let me know what you think.